Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Spill the D. I'm Rick, one of your hosts, and I'm joined, as always, with my beautiful co-host, Gina. How you doing?
I am doing very good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. You just had a fun weekend, did you not?
I did. I had my bachelorette weekend. We went to Boston and Salem. And to keep it Disney, I will say that I got to see the Hocus Pocus filming locations.
And you saw the Sanderson sisters.
I did. Oh my gosh, my mom and my aunts dressed up as the Sanderson sisters and totally surprised me with it. It was so good. They eventually had to change though out of the costumes because they were getting stopped for too many photos.
Were they really?
Yeah, we couldn't get around Salem because
so
they just
funny.
kept getting stopped. So they changed into, we all had matching sweatshirts that they changed into.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was so funny. They looked legit, and any other person we saw in costume later, we were like, theirs is not as good.
It was good. It was a good costume.
It was really good, and they definitely picked the right witch for each of them.
Yeah, I agree.
Who knew Aunt Barb looked good as a blonde? Yeah, they crushed it though. And we did Boston. We did full tours of Boston. We went to the bars in Boston. We did a ghost tour in Salem. Not gonna lie, it was really bad. Because even me, who doesn't do ghosts, it was so the reason I was okay with doing it is because I was informed that ghost tours are not actually ghost tours. They're just history tours where you stand outside of buildings that are supposedly haunted.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, as long as we're not going through these buildings. So I did it, and the guy was terrible. So then we did it again the next day with a different company, and it was really, really good. So it's all about who you have, I guess. But we did not see any ghosts, thank goodness.
Darn.
I know. I'm fine with that. It was very cool, though. Salem has a lot more history than just the witch trials, apparently, so it was really cool to learn all about it.
It's true.
Did you actually know that?
Yeah.
I didn't know how much history there was in Salem.
Well, it's Massachusetts.
Yeah.
It was one of the original colonies. So
My favorite thing that I learned about Massachusetts while I was there was actually in Boston. There was in Boston. First of all, some of the people there make their accent their entire personality. That was what I learned. Only the tour guides, because the people who weren't tour guides were just, their accent seemed pretty normal.
yeah.
But the coolest piece of history that I learned about is not actually that cool, but it was kind of cool. In 1919 or 1920, there was a molasses flood.
What?
Yeah, so there was a molasses factory where this giant vat of molasses, it was basically a big pot of it, had I can't remember. It was 2 million gallons or something ridiculous.
Jeez.
It was poorly made. So when the molasses expanded while it was heating, it broke it and it sent a tidal wave going at 35 miles per hour into Boston.
Oh my gosh.
And it killed 20 people and injured over 100 people.
That's wild.
Which
Insane.
is in no ways cool, but it's just such an interesting story.
Very
They were telling us this, and I was like, I want more information. And then that night before bed, I was laying in my bed looking up the Great Molasses Flood. Because I had so many questions. Because, molasses moves slow. How fast did this tidal wave move that these people couldn't get out of the way? And apparently, when there's that many gallons coming at you, it moves pretty quick. So I thought it was really interesting.
That is interesting.
That was my favorite thing that I learned about. All of the history in Boston and Salem, Massachusetts. And I was like, did you hear about the Great Molasses tidal wave?
Have you heard of the Great Molasses Flood of 1920?
I'm pretty sure it's literally if you look it up, it's called the Great Molasses Flood or something.
Amazing.
Something, and the pictures are crazy because it's just brown. Well, it's black and white, but there are some pictures where they colored it to what it would probably look like, and it's just the city with just brown all over. This is probably getting a little bit too dark for our Disney podcast. So, welcome to our Disney podcast.
Welcome.
Where today we are talking about Universal Studios.
The second half of our trip.
The second half of our trip. We started the first half about 2 weeks ago. We told you guys all about our first day at Universal and Halloween Horror Nights, which was basically its own episode just about Halloween Horror Nights.
It went a lot longer than we expected.
Yes. So we are here now to do part 2. Bruce was supposed to be here, but we ended up recording this really last minute, so we weren't able to get him on here, which is completely our fault. So sorry, Bruce. Coming home from Boston. It's exhausted. I'll cut that out. But yeah, so we're going to talk about our days 2 and 3. I can't believe a 3-day trip took 2 episodes to talk about, but that's all right. Wild. So if you missed part 1, it's about 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
All right. So before we do that, Disney news?
Yeah.
What do you have?
Not too much. For those that are interested, I know we're excited about it. November 1st, we have confirmed that the new season of what's it called? The Imagineering?
Behind the attraction.
Behind the Attraction. The new season of Behind the Attraction is coming. Confirmed we will be learning about Pirates of the Caribbean, Big Thunder Mountain, Epcot, General Food. What was it? Nighttime Spectaculars. And Indiana Jones.
Which one are you most excited to learn about?
Pirates.
Really?
Yes, and I'm also excited to learn about the food.
Okay.
Because it said churros, Dole Whip, etc. It said turkey leg, but I'm not really super excited about the turkey leg.
Emu legs.
Emu legs.
That's the rumor, that they're actually emu legs. That's why they're so big.
Huh.
Because turkey legs shouldn't be that big.
That's fair. They are very large. It's a fun rumor.
I'm excited to learn about the Nighttime Spectaculars.
That's going to be good. I think they're all going to be good. I really like the show, so.
Yeah. Pirates, I feel like we've kind of got, like, thrown at us 1,000 times. So many different things have done the history of Pirates, including us. I'm pretty sure we have an episode. I'm excited for Big Thunder Mountain. Because we've said on here 1,000 times that we attempted to do a Big Thunder Mountain episode with a history episode, and we couldn't do it because I could not process the history. No matter where you look, there are 10 different stories about the history of Big Thunder Mountain.
Nothing consistent.
They don't click together properly. Mm-hmm. It's like a puzzle with every piece is just a little bit off.
Yeah.
So you can never get it perfect. So I'm really excited to hear Disney's version of here is the history of Big Thunder Mountain.
Yeah.
Because Disney's version that you find online is very minute.
Yeah.
Super small.
Not
it's
much information.
More about the story of Big Thunder rather than the history of it.
Yeah.
So seeing the Behind the Attraction, they usually go pretty deep into the history of something. So I'm really excited to see what they can do with that.
Same.
And my piece of news. Although, Nighttime Spectaculars, sorry. That I think is going to be really good.
I agree.
Especially if they talk about, like, I'm hoping they do the fireworks, obviously. They'll do, like, Happily Ever After. Maybe they'll even go back to Wishes, that kind of thing. I hope that they do the parades, like the nighttime parades that they do. I really miss them because it's in Disneyland now, not Disney World.
Yeah.
And I think that would be very cool to hear about how that works.
Yeah, I just like how they show you things that you wouldn't expect to really see.
They answer questions that you don't know you have with that show.
Yeah.
Although my only issue with that show when it originally came out was it moved really fast. It was set up almost like a 45-minute TikTok.
Yeah, kind of.
Where it was just like this girl was just spitting information at you. It was like cutting from person to person. Like you had to be like 100% in at all times.
Yeah, locked into it.
Yeah, so I wonder if they're going to slow it down in season 2 because we were not the only people who said that.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting.
November 1st.
November 1st. All right, now my piece of news. I just got one thing, and I think it's very exciting. Disney has just announced a new discount.
Yay.
And we know we love Disney discounts, although this one does not apply to us in the slightest.
Nope.
So, if you have children and you are going to Disney World, the discount they just offered is called the Kids Play and Dine for 50% off. So, if you go to Disney between March 3rd, 2024 and June 30th of 2024, so basically if you go in the spring, then your kids, if you pay full price for a room and ticket package, okay, you cannot discount this. You can't get the room rack rate. You have to get the room rack rate. You can't get it discounted. If you pay full price, your kid can get half off their tickets and half off their dining plan.
Seems like a good deal to me.
Yeah, you need to pay full price for all of yours, but your kid can get half price. And I believe that is any kid in the room. It doesn't say anything so far that I have seen about, like, if there's one adult, how many kids you can have, and vice versa.
Limitations.
So that will be, like we said, starting for trips planned from March 3rd to June 30th, and you can book that as soon as November 14th, which is not that soon, honestly.
About a month and a half away.
Yeah. Usually when they announce discounts like that, it's like starting immediately.
Yeah, starting now until 2 days from now.
So I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
But, I mean, I like the dining plan. Everything's already paid for.
Yeah.
I did say that I don't fully believe the dining plan is worth it now because they kept the price the same but took away a snack.
Yeah.
But if your kid was half price
might be worth it
for the same amount of food, that could be worth it because your kid still gets a snack whether or not they're going to eat it.
We'd have to do the math on that one, but
honestly, I'm a firm believer in do the math for these things because it could be cheaper to just pay for your food while you're there and get a discount on your room. One very big perk is you can book with a travel agent. and they will do the math for you.
I know a guy.
I know a guy. I know a whole company. You know a whole company?
I know a whole company.
We know a whole company. That company is 407 and Beyond Vacation Co.
Woo woo.
Woo woo. We are the official podcast of 407 and Beyond Vacation Company. They're a Disney and Universal Orlando travel agency. They're going to book and plan vacations to destinations such as Walt Disney World, Universal Orlando, Disney Cruise Line, so much more. It doesn't cost any extra to book with them. All of their services are 100% free, so that all you have to do is show up, have fun, and create those family memories. They'll do all the quotes for you and figure out what is the best deal for you to make your vacation as cheap as possible and still get everything you want. To find out if that 50% off discount is going to be worth it for your family, or if you're better off paying for dining plan and getting a discount on the room, or buying an annual pass. Sometimes that's cheaper depending on how long you're going. They'll do the math on that for you.
They're very helpful people. Very knowledgeable.
Very knowledgeable. If you're interested, go ahead and check them out. Go to www.407vacations.com. We also have the link in our little show notes. You can find them through our social media, their social media, whatever you want to do. You can go ahead and do that, and they will help you out. They are great.
Yes.
They are also super knowledgeable in Universal, which is what we're actually talking about today. We're having one of our rare Universal episodes.
Yeah. I know you thought this was a Disney podcast, but
tricked ya.
Welcome to Spill the U.
Not as
doesn't flow quite as well.
Nah, but that's okay. All right, so let's talk about our trip. So like we said, when we left off, we had finished Halloween Horror Nights and we went to bed.
Yes.
At the Cabana Bay.
Very late.
Very late. We didn't get back to our room. We stayed at Cabana Bay, which is one of Universal's resorts. It's considered one of their value resorts. So it is on the cheaper end, but you would never be able to tell because this hotel was beautiful.
Yes, it was very nice.
It had a lazy river, people. Crazy. It was walking distance from Volcano Bay Water Park, but from Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios, you did have to take a bus. So we took the bus back at about 2:30 in the morning.
I think I walked into the room around like 2:30, 2:45.
Yeah, that was a late night. And we got up at like 5 a.m. for that flight.
Yeah.
So stayed at Cabana Bay, woke up the next morning. Because we stayed at Cabana Bay, we had the ability to enter the park early. So Rick actually stayed and slept a little bit longer, and we spent an entire day with Megan, or Magical Meg, as you might know her. She is the 407 Beyond official YouTuber.
Yeah.
It was the three of us all day, and this is where our information about the 407 agents having knowledge is completely accurate. Like, if you need some more proof, here it is. The 407 and Beyond agents all day were at a Universal Orlando training.
Yeah.
They were learning all about the parks, the resorts, everything. They took tours of multiple resorts. So if you're looking to go to Universal, talk to them because they can really help you out. I know nothing about Universal resorts except the price points, and they have literally toured them all now. So while they were doing that, the three of us played in the park.
Had fun.
Well, I'm sure what they were doing was fun, but
not as fun as what we were doing.
Not as fun as what we were doing. We were having, some might say, the time of our lives. We started out in the morning. Like I said, Rick stayed and slept a little bit longer, and me and Meg went to the park early. We were able to get into Islands of Adventure an hour before it opened because we were staying on property. That is a park that they offer at Universal. Sometimes it changes which park has that early entry depending on the day. So for that day, it was Islands of Adventure. So we went there, and I believe Cabana Bay also had early entry that day. Cabana Bay. I believe Volcano Bay also had early entry that day, and the plan was to get there. We did not make it by early entry. So me and Meg walked around and just enjoyed the park while it was empty. It was a big content trip, so we did get a lot of videos and pictures of the park while it was empty, which was pretty cool, actually. Yeah. There's full pictures of Harry Potter World, like the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, where there's nobody in it, really.
That's nice.
And we tried to get on Hagrid's before it got crazy because Meg had never ridden it, but it didn't work because it was down because we were just that lucky. So after probably about 45 minutes, Rick was on his way over. So we went and got breakfast because he had already eaten, and we had breakfast at the Three Broomsticks. It was okay.
Yeah.
The breakfast itself was honestly really good. It had different aspects about it that were really weird. The eggs were like those like powdered eggs.
Yeah.
That was a little weird. And then we kept calling it blood sausage. It's called black pudding, I think. But I believe when we Googled it, it's interchangeable with blood sausage.
It was gross.
Because in the book, it's called blood sausage.
It was gross.
Or blood. It's called blood pudding in the book. It was really gross. It was disgusting.
I caught the end of this. You guys ate.
We saved you
before
some
I
because
got
it was
there.
so gross.
Yeah, and I tried it, and it was disgusting.
It was really gross. It looked like a sausage, but the texture was
Not
like
even
wet
close.
paper, like eating a napkin.
It was so bad.
It was not good. But the rest of the breakfast was really good. We got the traditional English breakfast. I believe it was called a traditional English fare.
The rest of it seemed, the rest of it was
The
pretty
rest of
good.
it was good. Delicious croissants. But it was very basic. Potatoes.
Yeah.
Potatoes, actually, it was really big. Potatoes and beans and mushrooms. I'm trying to think what else. Tomato. Oh, I love a good roasted tomato with breakfast. And that was included in it. So a lot of food. And the 3 boomsticks was priced that no matter what you got, it was either an adult plate or a children's plate. And it was all the same price. So you either paid the adult price or the kid's price.
Very nice.
Very nice. And I believe, I'm 99% sure it came with coffee. Because Meg drank coffee, but I don't remember paying for a coffee.
Gotcha.
So I believe the meal came with, I think it had like maybe the option of coffee or tea or something.
Mm-hmm. Don't quote us on that, but check it out.
Yeah, don't quote us on that one. But 3 boomsticks, all in all, was very good. Except for the blood pudding. Black pudding, blood sausage, whatever we're calling it. So from that point, Rick arrived at the park. And would you like to tell them what our plan was?
As far as the water rides?
Yeah.
So we decided that we were going to just do all of the water rides at Islands of Adventure. Because we were going to Volcano Bay after that. So we decided we were just going to do all 3 of them. So we did Popeyes, we did Ripsaw Falls, and we did Jurassic Park.
In the opposite order of how you just said it.
Yes.
So we started with the one where you get the least wet and worked our way to the most wet.
Yes, because Popeyes will get you soaked for those that haven't ridden it. If you're not ready to get soaked, I wouldn't suggest riding any of them, to be honest. Their water rides at Universal, at Islands of Adventure specifically, are very good as far as getting you wet.
Oh, yeah. Popeyes, we were absolutely drenched after just one go.
And even Ripsaw Falls is like you get wet on Old Splash Mountain at Disney World, but I think Ripsaw Falls you get like at least double.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why, but
the Jurassic Park one, that's probably where you get the least wet. That's where to go if you just want a nice refreshing one. If you want to get soaked, Ripsaw Falls or Popeyes is the way to go.
Popeyes for sure, yeah.
Yeah. So we did all 3 of those in our bathing suits. Which one was your favorite?
I really like the story of Ripsaw Falls, and I'm sad that you didn't get to like see that part of it, because when you wait in the queue for it, you get to see like.
Oh no! When we went in 2022, we waited over an hour.
Oh yeah, we did.
So
okay,
I have seen it.
Yeah.
Meg, I don't think got to see it though, because
Okay.
that was her first time riding it.
Yeah, I love the story of that ride. Popeyes is better as far as getting wet though.
That's true. You're gonna leave absolutely.
But I really like if you get to stand in the queue for Ripsaw Falls and you get to go through the whole thing and you get to watch the cartoons and everything. I love that. That's one
fair.
ride I don't mind waiting for.
I minded that time because it was posted at like 30 and we waited like an hour and a half.
It was also February.
Yeah, I don't know why it was so long that day. It must have broke down or something while we were in line. I don't know. That was a long time to wait. But yeah, so we did all those. We wore our bathing suits to the park that day. So Rick fully had on like swim trunks and a t-shirt.
Yep.
Meg and I both put our bathing suits under our clothes. So we were fine when we got soaked.
What was your favorite of the 3?
Popeyes.
Okay.
I love a good raft ride.
That's fair. It's a good one, too.
And it's a really good one.
You know it's good because in the middle they have the plastic thing where you put your bags and cover them up.
Yes. Well, because something that Universal does is they have the little lockers where you have to put your things.
Yeah.
And they're free.
Yeah.
Unless you need a big locker.
Yeah.
In which case it does cost money. So because people would need to use a big locker there, they do have that middle space. I don't know if that's actually why, but that is a correlation.
Yeah.
So you can still bring your stuff on and it stays pretty dry. Not totally dry. We still stuck it in a bag that we had just in case.
Well, it depends on how the people before you handled it. Like, if it was
Yeah.
uncovered before you, then there was probably a puddle in there, and then you were kind of just out of luck.
Yes. And I had that leather fanny pack with me.
Yeah.
That's like real leather. That's not supposed to get wet. So we were like, let's go. We're shoving it in a bag.
Yep.
So we had a gift bag from a store the day before. Worked out really well, actually.
Yeah.
From when I bought my wand. So from there, we headed over to Volcano Bay. And on the way out, Rick stopped at Cinnabon. How'd you like it?
It was horrible. It was not even close to what was advertised. I posted on our story for those that might have seen that. The reality versus expected of what I got. It was not even close to what I was expecting. And it tasted mediocre at best. It was really disappointing.
Hate to see it.
Yeah.
Hate to see it. It looked mediocre at best. It looked
disgusting.
disgusting.
I mean, it was fairly cheap, so I wasn't super upset about it, but it wasn't what I wanted.
Sorry.
That's okay.
It had so much potential.
It did.
It did. But yeah, so we went over, what did we do? We hopped on a bus and went to Volcano Bay.
Yes.
Or a boat.
No, we did a boat.
We did a boat. We took a boat to Volcano Bay. It actually dropped us at a resort, and then from there we walked.
Yeah, we didn't have to walk far, though.
To Volcano Bay, which I don't think was the quickest option. We just really wanted to take a boat.
Yeah, the boat ride was nice.
Yeah.
Going past the Hard Rock and...
Mm-hmm. You got to really see it all. Yeah. The bus probably would have been the quickest option.
Probably, but that's okay.
That's all right, though. It was nice. I went to the water park, and what did you think of Volcano Bay Water Park?
I really like the tapu, is that what it's called? The wristbands that they give you. I think that is a fantastic idea as far as the queues and not having to wait in line for an insane amount of time. I wish we had gotten to ride more rides, but we wanted to get to Universal, so we didn't get to ride as many as I would have liked to. But the ones that we did ride were really fun.
Yeah, so Tapu, for anyone who doesn't know, it's similar to a Magic Band at Walt Disney World. Mm-hmm. When you walk into Volcano Bay, they hand you this bracelet and you put it on. And when you go up to a ride, if you want to ride it, it'll tell you that there's maybe a 10-minute wait.
Yeah.
And you scan your Tapu, and then in 10 minutes, it'll like vibrate on your wrist to tell you to come back.
Yeah.
And it also, you can hook up your account to it and your card, and you can pay for things with it. So it has a lot of options. You can hook it up so that you can take photos, and then you scan the thing and it puts your photo on your account. Gives you a lot of different things that you can do with it, so that you don't need to have your phone on you don't need to have your wallet on you, and that you don't have to wait in line. If a line is long, you can go and you can sit and go through the lazy river. You can go to the wave pool. Go to something that doesn't have a wait. Because sometimes, too, you'd walk up and it would say, there's no wait, and you just get to walk right through.
Yeah.
You only do the Tapu if there is a wait.
It's kind of like the virtual queue in Disney, where you have to come back and you have to wait a little bit, but it's controlled wait.
Yes.
It's like, they make it so it's not super crowded and, like, over full, but you do still have to wait a little bit.
Yes.
It makes it a little bit easier, and I did enjoy it. I thought when we did the big raft ride, I forget what it was called.
It was the Moana and the like Kanu, and we did the Kanu. We did the more intense of the two.
Yeah.
Kona, maybe.
But we waited 15 minutes for that after they told us to come back, which wasn't bad.
Which, funny enough, one of the first things that they tell you, I don't know, not one of the first things, I don't know why they told us this. When I was a lifeguard for Disney, in one of our trainings, they told us that the average person will only wait 25 minutes for a water ride.
Yeah.
So the one ride there had an hour and 20-minute wait with the Tapu.
Yeah.
Like, people just would not be going on it if that's the case.
Yeah.
And it's because you're sitting there in the heat with no shoes on, in a bathing suit, surrounded by strangers. Like,
Yeah.
This is not something people want to do.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get why people don't wait more than 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So I think Tapu really makes a difference. Another thing that they had that I really liked was the sprayers on the ground.
Uh-huh.
So it kept the ground from getting hot. There was constantly putting water out.
Yeah.
Somebody did message us. It was either Amaya or Bailey. One of our listeners did mention us, and they told me that apparently Typhoon Lagoon has that.
Okay.
I don't remember it, and I was just there a few years ago. I don't remember it at all, but I will take their word for it that Typhoon Lagoon has that on the ground. Maybe I was at Blizzard Beach. No, I was at Typhoon Lagoon. I don't know why I can't remember it. It's so funny. Because because I thought it was the coolest thing. The whole time I was like, my feet aren't burning.
Yeah.
This is so cool. Nice. I was like annoyingly talking about how cool it was the entire. I was like, yes, my feet got squirted again. So that was awesome.
Yeah.
Because that's terrible when you're walking through a water park and your feet are on fire from the heat.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a great feature. My stipulation with the water park, it was really confusing where the lines went to. We had trouble finding rides, and we would ask employees and they would send us, we got sent back and forth around the volcano trying to find rides because we wanted the one that dropped down and we couldn't seem to find it.
Yeah.
So we ended up being like, okay, we're tired of walking upstairs. We're tired of trying to find this. We're going to call it quits on riding it, which kind of stunk, but we still were able to get a few things done.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say I would recommend looking at the map before you go and picking out things that you know you wanted to do. Because we ended up riding a water slide that was extremely lame that we waited like 20 minutes on.
Yeah, it was really disappointing.
And we thought it was going to be like it said there was no wait, so we thought we were going to walk right up, ride it, and come back. So poor Meg was waiting for us for like 20 minutes, and the ride was not even good.
Yeah, it was really disappointing.
She actually already posted her vlog of this day.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to watch what we're talking about, you can. It's all up on Magical Meg's YouTube channel. And I was watching it, and you could hear me go, that ride was so slow after I got off of it. Because it wasn't great.
Yeah, the organization of the park was a little confusing, but I got to bring it up because the 2 a.m. is a person. The food at this park was
so
amazing.
Good. It was so good.
I was making a list as we were going through the day, through the days, I guess you could say, of my top foods, and my number one food for the weekend was from Volcano Bay.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a really good pulled pork sandwich.
That is also on my list.
My pulled pork sandwich? Yeah. That's really funny. Yeah, it was all, though, fair warning, at least the place that we went to, it was like tropical themed. So everything had like either like pineapple, mango, or coconut in it. Because I struggled to find anything that didn't have coconut.
Which I guess is to be expected based on the theming of the park.
Considering what it is.
But if you don't like that stuff, then you might not find the food as good. But we like that stuff that's not coconut, so.
I enjoyed my pulled pork.
It was really good. My burger was really good, too.
And Meg got coconut-crusted fried chicken.
Yeah.
And it looked good. It looked amazing. She said it was really good. She's not a coconut person.
So, yeah. Food was really good. So after that, we hopped on over to Universal. Well, we went back to the rooms first.
Then we got
showered up, got changed into better, drier clothes.
And we were able to walk right from Volcano Bay into the back entrance of our hotel, which was very nice.
Like 5 minutes.
It was so quick.
So we went, we got changed, we got showered, all that good stuff. And then we headed to Universal Studios. Third park of the day.
Third park of the day. And final.
And final, yes. We didn't go anywhere else after this. But this was where we met up with the vacation planners and Bruce. No, we did.
Yeah, we did. No, they didn't. That was the next day.
Oh, that was the next day.
So we walked in, and the first thing we did was we tried the Minions' new ride, the Villain Con.
I think that's a great ride.
I thought it was good. As far as shooting rides go, I still like Toy Story Mania and Buzz Lightyear better.
They are much less confusing.
It was very confusing. We learned the next day while riding, part of the reason it was so confusing is because the part where they tell you what you should be shooting at is actually while you're waiting in line. It's on the walls throughout the queue. We walked right onto it. There was no line that day.
Yeah.
So we walked right on, didn't have an issue. So we didn't know what we were shooting at. An employee told us at the last minute when I was like, I looked at her, I was like, how do I win? And she told me what to shoot at, but that was the majority of it.
Yeah.
So read the signs along the walls if you want to actually score well.
Yeah.
Also, the gun is very heavy. I found out after the fact, not that we would have used it, but it is just a very interesting thing to know. Because it's so heavy, we got off and we were like, how do kids hold this? How do people with disabilities hold this? They actually will give you a strap to put the gun on your shoulder to help you hold it. So if you pick it up and you're like, I can't hold this whole time because you're standing up on a platform that's moving,
a treadmill,
holding
basically.
This gun. Yeah, like imagine like sitting on a treadmill and just moving with it. That's what's happening. And holding this gun that is very heavy. My arms were tired by the end. Like mine were tired from the trigger. I'm not gonna lie. But you could easily get tired from holding it. So they do have a strap if you need it.
I thought this ride was super fun, though. It was a little
It was
crowded
cool.
when there's a lot of people, as far as like the screen itself. But I don't want to give too much away, but I'm a big fan of the fact that the gun is free. So you're just moving as you need to.
Yeah, it's not hooked to anything.
And I like the idea of being on the like conveyor belt almost, and moving through the rooms that way as opposed to sitting down. I thought it was fun having one of those rides where you're standing up. I didn't feel restricted like I usually do.
Yeah.
On rides. And I think that was part of the reason that I liked it.
I'm trying to decide. Because Halloween Horror Nights made me realize how much I enjoy the part on rides when you sit down at theme parks. So I'm like, I didn't mind it. It didn't make or break my day. I think it would make it harder for a kid.
Yeah.
But not impossible. It just seemed like a very kid-centered ride made for adults, though. It felt more like an adult ride, but with a kid theme. I just feel like it would be easier and more enjoyable for an adult than it would for a child.
That makes sense.
Yeah. From there, we went to Minion Cafe, where we got a rock and a roll.
A rock and a roll.
We got Otto's Pet Rock, which was basically
Peanut butter and jelly.
peanut butter and jelly mousse.
Yeah.
In a rock.
It
It
was
said there
pretty
was banana in it, but I didn't taste any banana.
It was pretty good.
I thought it was so good. That was like my favorite dessert. Of the two of those.
Yeah.
And then we got the roll.
I thought the roll was fantastic.
And what was the roll? It was the banana roll.
The roll was it was pineapple. It was pineapple filling and a yellow cake, and there's a little banana, not a real banana, but a yellow banana.
It's not a real banana?
It was passion fruit flavored, and it went really well with the pineapple and vanilla cake.
Oh, yeah, it was like a yellow sponge cake.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It was
I
a
thought that
tease.
was amazing.
I thought you were getting
It was
banana, and there was
delicious.
no banana in it.
Yeah.
The banana was in the rock, apparently.
Yeah.
Which I don't remember tasting banana.
It was really good. I enjoyed it.
I liked it too. I just like the rock better.
Understandable.
Which we ended up back at Minion's Cafe the next day. I guess we can talk about it now. We had the grilled cheese, which was from the kids' meal, and it was a pimento grilled cheese.
So good.
It was amazing, and it was served with the Minions tater tots. So they were tater tots that looked like the Minions.
They were also delicious.
Also delicious. My only thing with the pimento grilled cheese, I thought it was amazing. I could not picture a kid eating it.
It was big.
It was big, and it had a lot of
Flavorful,
flavor.
yeah,
Like
very
pimento
flavorful.
cheese it's peppers.
Yeah. I like when we went back with the vacation planners and Bruce, because we got to see a bunch of stuff. Like I know Wyatt got the burger that looked really good. He also got like a milkshake or
It was
something
like a
that looked
grape
really
milkshake,
good.
yeah.
So we got to like see some more of the food that we didn't actually try.
My favorite thing about going anywhere with Wyatt is he orders like everything. So I'm like, I get to see it all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really good. But the just to harp on this grilled cheese for another second. One of the vacation planners, now that you're saying that, when we went with them, said, I can't picture my kid eating this.
Uh-huh.
Like, my kid would not eat it. So I think it would depend on the kid.
Yeah.
But as an adult who loves kids' meals at theme parks, beautiful.
Yeah. It was a good
Thank you,
snack.
Universal. It's almost like they made it knowing that it was for adults to order.
Yeah. It was a good snack. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, because we split it.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been a meal. Probably not for you. Probably still a snack. But absolutely delicious. I highly recommend Minion Cafe. And that was one of the things that we said the last episode was Universal's food is completely mediocre.
Uh-huh.
But the newer food options are very good. So Minion's Cafe was very good because it's a very new food option.
Yeah.
Yeah. After that, we rode Fast and Furious.
That's the worst ride of all time. That ride was like, I don't want to go too far, but I might rather ride Finding Nemo than ride Fast and Furious again. And that's saying something because I really like the Fast and Furious franchise. That ride was so bad.
That's pretty far. I still think I would take it over the Finding Nemo ride. Whoa. That's a bold statement.
Some of the graphics and stuff just were so bad.
Vin Diesel jumps from a helicopter into a car.
Which, Stuff like that happens in the movies all the time.
Nuh-uh. Out of a helicopter into a moving car.
They do crazy stuff like that in the movies all the time.
They're going to space.
But it at least looks a little more realistic. Like, this was so choppy and just didn't look well produced. I was so disappointed in this ride.
But you got to ride a party bus.
That was fun.
Kind of.
But I was very disappointed in this one.
Had you never ridden it?
No.
So
that was the first time. The line was cool.
The line was the best part. Not even that part. The girls in the line.
Oh yeah.
The employees that were in there were mic'd up. And they like talked along with the video, which like they didn't need to, but they chose to, and they were so funny. And I'm sure they say like the same thing every time, but having it be the first time I wrote it, I thought they were hilarious.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I was like, how do I get this job of just sitting here talking to a screen all day?
The queue was great. I loved the queue for that ride, but the ride itself was so disappointing.
So disappointing. It was so bad. A helicopter into a moving car.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel could never.
With the power of family, he can.
Family. And I still don't fully get what was happening.
The story is
I think there was like a bad guy in our party bus, but like we protected him because we're family. I don't know.
I couldn't tell you the story, to be honest.
I don't know what happened. I was trying to understand it.
Yeah.
Because if our listeners have learned anything about me from Universal, I like the story of things. I like understanding what's happening, and I understood nothing.
Yeah, it was very disappointing.
Yeah, no, that wasn't good. But you know what was good?
What?
Where we went after that.
Which was?
Where I could have spent the entire trip.
Gee, I wonder.
Diagon Alley.
Diagon Alley.
What did he say, dear? Diagon Alley. It was so cool. It was so much fun. I love Diagon Alley. That's all there is to it. We went in. We used my wand a little bit. Meg got to play with the wand. We realized that my wand had to be mended, or I guess recalibrated if we're going to use Muggle terms, because I had dropped it the day before. So we took it to Ollivander's. We also went into the money exchange, which is something that you can do in Diagon Alley at Gringotts. There's a building on the side. So there's obviously the main Gringotts with the dragon on the top of it. But if you go to the right of it, there's a building called Gringotts Money Exchange where you can go in and cash your money in, and they give you wizard bank notes. Yeah. They are not galleons. They're like just a sheet of paper that says 10 wizard dollars, basically. Yeah. So you can do it in 10s. So I just traded in. I just used my credit card, gave them $10. They gave me $10 back. And that money is good anywhere in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Technically, the paper says it's good anywhere that it's accepted in Universal, or like at Universal Orlando Resort. I didn't test it to see if it worked anywhere else. I'm just assuming. Just when in doubt, just use it at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
It's most likely definitely accepted everywhere there. So just stick with it there.
Oh, you mean at the Wizarding World?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant at Universal. I was like, that's a bold statement considering we didn't try it. But yeah, we did that. We got my wand fixed. Meg looked at wands to decide if she wanted one or not. She didn't get it while we were there, but I'm sure she will. And we went on Escape from Gringotts.
Where does this rank in your Harry Potter rides list?
I actually think it might be number 1.
You liked it better than the Magical Journey? You seem to be very high on that one.
I know. And I think I liked this one better.
Okay. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the Magical Creature Journey one. So.
That's definitely my number 2. Like, without a doubt, it is my number 2. And I want to change my mind and tell you that it's my number 1. But I really, really liked Escape from Gringotts.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's more because the characters are there. I told you guys last time I really liked getting to see the blast-ended Scroots on the Magical Motorbike Adventure.
Yeah.
But just Escape from Gringotts was like, the first time riding it just had so many twists and turns I didn't know about. I love the part where Voldemort like throws up fire. And I think I rode it like 8 times in the course of the 3 days we were there. Something ridiculous, because the last day when the park was closing, we were still there, and I think we rode it 3 times in a row. Because they let us just keep staying on. And there was 3 of us that just kept going.
Yeah.
We were like, sure, let's go again.
Why not?
Why not? And we'd stand up and then we'd go again. So, yeah, it might be. I will be honest with the listeners. The average person is going to say Hagrid's, rightfully so.
Yeah.
But I think mine is Escape from Gringotts because I'm weird. I am probably going to change that answer multiple times forever. So just if next episode I say it's Hagrid's, deal with it.
Yeah.
And then we had left Diagon Alley. We were in there for a pretty long time.
Yeah. Spent a good.
We got some butterbeer. That's when we figured out that the cups that the butterbeer come in perfectly fit in a ride locker. So if you don't finish your butterbeer, don't worry. You can still get on the ride. Just slide it into the locker. We came out. It still was pretty frozen.
The straw doesn't fit.
No, I had to bend the straw in half.
But the cup itself fits.
Cup itself, perfect. Bend the straw. Shove it in. You're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
We went and rode Men in Black.
How would you think of that one?
That ranks higher for me than VillainCon as far as shooting games.
That's a fun one.
As far as the shooting rides, it was really hard because you're in the practice round and you're shooting all these aliens and there's targets and then the ride actually starts and they get rid of all the targets.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I supposed to be shooting at? And then someone said the eyeballs, which I don't know if it's accurate, but it worked.
No, yeah, it is.
It is accurate.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was shooting at the eyeballs and then I believe I won both times.
You didn't.
Did you win the first time?
I won the second time.
I won the second time because I got yelled at for not telling anyone about the red button thing.
Were we not in the same thing then? Because
Maybe that's
I got
why.
the red button the second time.
I must have been in a different one. We were the next day.
Because I know I got the red button the second time.
Oh, I single ridered it the next day, and it was me and Ashley.
Okay.
And you and Wyatt were in the other one.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Okay. Yeah, and I didn't tell anyone about the red button, and I was like, ha! Wait until they say press the red button, and then be the first to press the red button, and you get 100,000 points.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate cheat.
I just started spamming it, and then Wyatt saw me do it, so he's doing it. No, I think Wyatt already knew about it, but we were both just like spamming it, and
you
everybody
beat
else
him
in
to
the
it?
car, everybody else in the car wasn't doing it.
We're still trying to shoot the aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one in mine knew about it. I do think that it kind of takes away some of the fun of the game because, like, you could be so losing and then press it. And then, like,
I was losing horrendously.
Which is fun if you're the one who wins.
But
if you're the
by
person,
like 80,000 points, and then I pressed the button and I won.
If you're the person who's kicking butt though, and then someone presses the button before you because you didn't know the button existed, that hurts.
Yeah,
that cuts deep.
A little bit.
Cuts real deep. But you gotta wait until they tell you to press the red button. Then
yeah.
Because the whole time they're like, "Don't press the red button." And I love buttons, so I was pressing it anyway. We also rode the Simpsons ride.
Love that one.
It was very good. I love the little bits of shade that they threw at Disney. It was very clearly shade. You clearly were on Pirates of the Caribbean at one point.
Yeah.
It made me sad, though, because I love Back to the Future. And knowing that that's what was there before it, I sat in that car and I was like, oh, it's so a DeLorean. So that part made me sad, but all in all, The Simpsons, it was good. It was a really cute ride. Not one to do if you get motion sickness.
Definitely not.
It is completely a simulator ride.
Yes.
100%.
You will get sick if you get motion sick.
Yeah. But they do have enough air blowing at you.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get sick. And I'm always good as long as there's air on me.
Okay.
So that's why I get sick in cars if there's no full-blown air. We also did E.T. This is how we ended our night.
Glorified Peter Pan.
Yes. You kept saying that, and I couldn't really remember it. The only thing I remembered about it was when because I hadn't ridden it since I was like 6 or 9. The only thing I remembered about it was when you left. It said, "Goodbye, Gina."
Your name, yeah.
And
it didn't do that this time.
It didn't, but they did it the next day.
They
took our cards.
Okay.
So that it would do it. It ended up not doing it, but they took the cards forward to do it.
Yeah, they had our cards, but they still didn't say it.
They didn't do our cards the first time.
The second time I was saying.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, it was supposed to say it though.
Yeah.
Which was really weird.
Yeah.
But you kept saying that, and I was like, I know that he's probably right, but like, it's different than Peter Pan. And then it goes to the scene when you're flying over the town, and literally it has the same like moon effect where like E.T. is flying over the moon, and you're like,
yeah.
Or where you're like the moon is there spinning or whatever, and it's like, oh, okay, like we are literally, this is the bigger version of Peter Pan.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. I was like, yep, he nailed it. And we ended our night at City Walk.
I like City Walk.
With a 2-foot long hot dog.
Yes.
And Voodoo Donuts.
And outrunning a storm.
And outrunning a storm, which we did beat home.
Yeah.
We did not get stuck in
We
this
did.
storm. And this is now when we met up with the vacation planners.
Yes.
And we went bowling because Cabana Bay not only backs up to Volcano Bay and has a lazy river, it also has a bowling alley on the second floor.
Super fun.
Super fun. So we all went bowling. They had a bar there. We got sorted into our Hogwarts houses because Erica, one of the vacation planners, bought cookies for everybody. What house did the cookies say you were in?
I want to say Ravenclaw was what I got.
Nerd alert.
What was yours?
Hufflepuff. I'm a Gryffindor.
No, you're not.
Not according to that cookie. Do you think I'm not in general?
No, I think you are.
Okay.
Hufflepuff's better, though, so.
Spoken like a true Ravenclaw. No, he's Hufflepuff.
Not the worst thing.
Through and through. Gryffindor through and through. Hufflepuff through and through. And let's talk about our last day. Last day feels like a whole blur.
Yeah. I know we were with everybody the whole day.
Yeah, so now we are back with the vacation planners. They had finished their training. There was only a one-day training.
Yeah.
I say only. They spent the entire day there, guys.
Yeah.
But it was a one-day training, so they spent the entire day with us at Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios. Some of them went to Volcano Bay. This day, people were leaving at different times.
Yeah.
So, for instance, Rick left the park around 5:30 to catch his flight. My flight didn't leave till the next morning. Some of the vacation planners were leaving as early as like 1 o'clock, especially ones who were trying to drive home and beat traffic because it was a Tuesday.
Yeah.
So it made sense. So we started out in the morning. We all rope dropped, or whatever I guess it's called at Universal. We did early entry, and we rode Velocicoaster. Great time.
I love that ride.
I taught Ashley how to go limp on it.
That was so funny watching her do that.
So my favorite way to ride Velocicoaster is to let my body go completely limp because it doesn't have a chest harness. It only goes on your waist, so your body flails around. And I told one of the vacation planners, Ashley, I was like, go limp. It's so much better. And she was in front of me and Rick. And watching her body just flail around.
She understood the assignment.
She did. She understood it real clear. It was so good. Her arms were just like flying off the sides of the ride.
So funny.
It was so funny. And I was like, oh my god, is this what I look like?
She was fully committed to it too. A lot of
She
people
was.
would have been like, whoa, I don't want to do this anymore. But she did it
She did it the entire time. You just heard her screaming with
Yeah.
her arms flailing around.
So funny.
So good. So we did that. And then we went to ride Hagrid's, and it was like already a 2-hour wait.
Yes.
So the day before, how I said that Meg and I went into the Three Broomsticks, it was completely empty.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, how about we go get food and then we'll hop on Hagrid's. The line will probably go down in a few minutes. It's just because it's still first thing in the morning. We go in, there's an entire line for food.
A very long line.
And I was like, oh my god, I just drug all of these people in here. How do I tell them to leave without sounding like a bossy little brat? So I was like, we don't need food. And Wyatt goes...
Speak for yourself.
Wyatt goes, I actually don't recommend using your... early entry to get breakfast. He was kidding. It was a joke, but he was right. He was absolutely right, and I was like, I know, I agree. So we ended up waiting in line for Hagrid's. It was not 120 minutes. I think we might have waited an hour, which was a lot. It dropped down to less later, but it was fun to do it with everybody before people kind of separated and did their thing.
It was a while because I was able to go all the way back up to Starbucks and get all the way back before and still have time to eat my food and relax a little bit before you guys got off the ride.
Yeah, Rick was like, screw you guys, I'm getting food.
I needed food. That's just who I am as a person.
So he did that.
So I didn't ride Hagrid's.
But you had ridden it. We did the...
Yeah, I've ridden it before and everything.
Yeah, we had done it.
I got in line, and then I saw how long the line was, and I was like, I'm not going to make it. So I went and got food.
You know what? I'm good. Honestly, with Hagrid's, if you're not committed to a certain seat or to riding with somebody, the single rider line is so worth it. And we wanted to do single rider line. It wasn't open yet. It doesn't open until later in the day. So that made it really hard. That made it so that we had to wait in the line if we all wanted to ride it together.
Uh-huh.
From there, we hopped on the Hogwarts Express. We headed on over to Diagon Alley, to Universal Studios. And this is where we learned that if you have an issue with your ticket for the Hogwarts Express, or if you want to upgrade your ticket because you do need park to park in order to ride the Hogwarts Express, there's actually a ticket booth right there. So Rick's ticket was lost. He had lost it while going, when he took his stuff out of the locker.
Yeah.
And they were able to just get him a new one because he had the QR code on his phone still, and he was able to print it out right there. Did not have to go back to the front of the park.
Took like 5 minutes.
Not even. We caught up to everybody.
It was super convenient.
It was so perfect. So definitely check that out if you want to upgrade your ticket while you're on property.
Yes.
Or if you have an issue with your ticket and you're like already in the park, don't go all the way to the front. Go to them. Mm-hmm. But we did that. From there, we did Minions Cafe with everybody. And then we just explored Islands of Adventure. We kind of just did more of like what everybody wanted that day. Mm-hmm. Tried to just sit back and like let them make decisions because we had done so much the day before. Yeah. We did the Mummy, which we didn't do the day before. I think just about everything else we had done the day before. Mm-hmm. I feel like the only times that we kind of were like, hey, how about this, was when it was like, so you know how sometimes you're in a big group and everyone just ends up like twiddling their thumbs? Yeah. I thought that was the only time that I was like, okay, I'm going to speak up now.
Yeah, there's a few moments where I just was like, okay, let's go do this.
Let's go do this now. Because it was just be like, it's a big group. It's really hard when you're traveling with a big group. It's really helpful when you have one person to take over. But a group of vacation planners are all normally the people who take over. So everyone's trying to step back.
And not step on any toes or anything.
But then at the same time, now no one's saying what we should do. So, yeah, we did Mummy. We did the Jimmy Fallon ride. It was cute.
It was better than Fast and Furious.
Way better than Fast and Furious. But not as good as the Mummy. The Mummy was really fun.
I like the Mummy. It's a good one.
I really liked it. I did Gringotts 5 more times. I'm trying to think. We did, like, so much at Universal Studios with everybody that day. Yeah. We ate. We saw some shows. We got to see the Blues Brothers. They were out. Scooby-Doo was out. Mm-hmm. SpongeBob was out. Yeah. There's some cool characters walking around Universal. Mm-hmm. We went back to Islands of Adventure later, right before Rick was supposed to leave.
Yes, I did make it back there.
We did. We took the train back because, one, I hadn't ridden it from Universal to Islands of Adventure yet. Yes. It just hadn't happened. And two...
Which way did you like better?
I liked it better going from Universal to Islands of Adventure.
I also like that better.
That was the better way. Both were cool. The one voice, I think it was, just said all of their names at one time. Hermione's voice was not Emma Watson. The way that the Aladdin on the Magic Carpet ride bugs me, that was how I felt hearing Hermione's voice. I was like, oh my god, they didn't even get a good one to impersonate her. Like, come on, you couldn't have got a little bit better of a voice. It's so funny. It doesn't sound like her at all. But yeah, I definitely liked it from Universal to Islands of Adventure better. But yeah, so we ended up back at Islands of Adventure later in the day. Oh, you know what else we did in Diagon Alley? I'm sorry, guys. My brain's all over now. We're coming to the end of the episode. My brain is just going. We got ice cream. Yes. The ice cream in Diagon Alley is absolutely amazing, and I 1,000% recommend it. We also got to see a show. They had shows going on with live performers from the Wizarding World. It was so cool. Mm-hmm. But the ice cream, oh my gosh. Wyatt saw his one friend while we were in there. Yeah. Definitely recommend that ice cream, though. Yeah. So delicious. I got chocolate and strawberry peanut butter.
I don't remember what I got.
Because you got 2 scoops.
Yeah, like apple
pie. Oh, it was apple crumble, I think.
Yeah, something like that. It was really good.
It was really good. Both delicious. And I believe either Wyatt or Ashley got butterbeer.
I do remember someone getting that. I don't remember who, though.
Which I was told that the butterbeer ice cream wasn't that great.
Regular butterbeer is the way to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm told. I prefer a frozen butterbeer. I know some people just like it regular or hot. I like it frozen. That's my preference. But I love a good frozen drink.
Yeah, you like frozen drinks.
I love frozen drinks. I have a frozen drink every day. Be so happy. Life is good. But yeah, so we went back to Islands of Adventure. We took the photo that we needed, which we can post on the Instagram for you guys if you want. I was saving it for our wedding. I'll save it. Okay. I can tell you guys about it. I don't think anyone's listening who's coming to our wedding anyway.
I mean, there might be a few.
Maybe a few. So when we were looking for photos for our table numbers for our wedding, we found a picture of Rick in Islands of Adventure when he was 6, and I was a picture of me in Islands of Adventure when I was either 6 or... I think I was 6 too.
Were you?
They were different years. Maybe you were 5, I was 6.
Yeah, it was a year apart, I think.
But we're in the exact same spot, taking a picture. Like, camera angles the same and everything. It's so crazy. So we retook it together to put out on the table at our wedding. So we had to go do that. And then At that point, it was just about time for Rick to head out. But he loves the Spider-Man ride, so we quickly rode that and then the Hulk ride because we still had a few more minutes that I convinced him he should stay for.
I love the Spider-Man ride.
It's just so funny. It's good. It's cute.
I just like Spider-Man.
When in doubt, it's cute. But yeah, I like all the villains. How it has like every Spider-Man villain in it. I think that part's cool. As a Spider-Man fan, that part's really cool because it reminds me of like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I definitely like that. And yeah, we did the Hulk. And then you headed out.
Yeah, I had to catch an airplane.
Yeah. But at that point, so you walked to the front of the park. We walked out together and we walked through City Walk. Ashley came with us.
Yeah.
And we took some pictures in front of the Universal Globe because we hadn't done that yet because it was raining the other days when we left. You headed out and the Uber wasn't that bad. I think it was like a $40 Uber for you.
Something like that.
From City Walk right to the airport, which is pretty cheap, honestly.
Yeah.
I know Universal's closer to the airport than Disney is, but Disney one lately has been like 50 or 60.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really nice because I was expecting to have to pay way more than we did. But Ashley and I went back into Universal Studios. We went in to find everybody because we kind of like walked around basically and then back through the front. And we rode Rip Ride Rocket 2 or 3 times. And then we headed back into Diagon Alley because that's where everybody else was. This is where I said I rode Gringotts at least 3 times. And then at that point, there was 3 other people with me. I had Mandy, Megan, and Wyatt with me. And we were the last people in Diagon Alley.
That's cool.
Because we were on the ride for so long. And we were taking pictures. And it was literally like security was doing the sweep where they get people out.
Yeah.
And they let us stand there an extra minute because it started downpouring. And we looked at each other and we were like, this downpour is not going to stop. We made it all 3 days without an ounce of rain.
Yeah.
This is it. And this is it. So we had to walk back to the hotel in the pouring rain. Everyone else was going to a covered rooftop bar. And we were like, we can't go like this. So we had to walk back. We walked all the way to the buses, sat on the buses, dripping wet, got changed, and went to the rooftop bar. That was at, I think it was at the Aventura Hotel.
Okay.
I will edit right now, later, if it wasn't that. But I'm 99% sure it was the Aventura Hotel. But yeah, so we were able to get some really cool photos of Diagon Alley with nobody else in them.
Sounds like it.
It was amazing. There's actually pictures already on our Instagram of Diagon Alley just completely empty. And I highly recommend trying to be the last people in there. It was really cool. Be polite to security. If they say leave, you leave. If you can tell they want you out, you get out.
Yeah.
But
stay as long as you can.
Stay as long as you can because it was really cool being the last people in there. And then walking out in the rain, there was no rush from security for us to get out because it was pouring rain. Yeah. So everyone was already going.
Yep.
And yeah, we went to the rooftop bar. We got some drinks and food to end the night. And then everyone went back and went to bed. And I woke up at
some early time.
3 a.m., 4 a.m. to head home.
I think it was 4.
4 because my flight was at 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get home to go to work. Psychos.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part? I know I just sped through the end of that really quickly, but I saw how much time we had left and figured it was easier to just go right through.
Favorite part of the whole weekend?
Or just the 2 days we talked about today?
2 days we talked about today. I really did like going around to all the parks with Megan and getting all the content and stuff and pictures and videos and stuff that we did. It was really fun.
Park hopping?
Yeah.
Which way do you like better on the train?
Same as you.
Same, okay.
Yeah.
Which park is your favorite?
That's a tough one. I think I have to go with Universal Studios.
Okay.
I like the theming of it better. It almost reminds me of like MGM in a way.
That's what I said while we were there. It reminds me of old Hollywood Studios.
I like some of the stuff in Islands of Adventure. Like my favorite things are in Islands of Adventure, but there's more consistently better things in Universal Studios.
Okay, that's fair.
Like Velocicoaster's one of my favorites. I'm blanking on everything that's in Islands of Adventure right now.
All of the water rides.
The Marvel area, yeah, like
Spider-Man.
Yeah, so like mostly
Seuss Land.
But like mostly Velocicoaster and like the Marvel stuff, like obviously is gonna be up there for me, but like the consistent stuff in Universal Studios, now the Minions, the Simpsons, the Mummy ride was really fun, like all that stuff. So I'd have to go with Universal Studios. What about you?
Universal Studios. I agree. The better rides as far as like thrill are definitely in Islands of Adventure. Oh,
Yeah.
Doctor Doom's Free Fall. That one's so bad.
They're right.
It's so bad. Those ones though are definitely at Islands of Adventure, but Universal Studios is just like it's so it hits you right in the nostalgia.
Fast and Furious was in Universal
And
Studios.
Vin Diesel jumped from a helicopter into a moving car, people. No, and then as far as the Harry Potter sections go, like in the Wizarding World, Diagon Alley was definitely better than Hogsmeade. Hogsmeade was cool, and having Hogwarts there was cool, but Diagon Alley is better.
I don't know. I like the ride in Hogsmeade better.
The roller coaster?
The one where you're on the broomsticks.
Oh, okay. The Legend of the
I forget what it's called.
The Legend of the Hidden Temple, the Forbidden Journey.
Yeah,
Harry Potter and the Forbidden
I
Journey.
like that one.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I do really like that one, but I'm talking about the location. Like,
Gotcha.
if you're just in a space.
Uh-huh.
Ride-wise, like, yes, I like Gringotts better, but overall, ride-wise, Hogsmeade wins because it has 3 rides.
Yeah.
But, like, Diagon Alley is just, like...
Very immersive, too.
So immersive. It's so good.
Yeah.
I want to do a whole trip of just spending my day in Diagon Alley. I know that I actually wouldn't once I got there, but like I so could.
Yeah.
Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade, if I could just go back and forth between the two,
Uh-huh.
I'd be such a happy camper. It just makes me so happy.
If you like it, you like it.
And the ice cream was so good.
Ice
The
cream
butter beer was so
I'd get the ice
good.
cream again.
I would absolutely get the ice cream again. Delicious. But yeah, that's how I feel about it.
I had a great time.
I had a great time too.
It was so much fun.
I was very happy to be invited by 407.
Yeah.
To be a part of a great community. And like I said, it really just helps us. We really do recommend using them because we've worked with them. We have spent entire weekends with these people, and we know that they know their stuff and that they are there to help you. I know some of our listeners have commented on how good they are after using them, so I highly recommend it. Those people are awesome.
Yep.
I thoroughly enjoy all of them, and I mean, if you've come back week after week, you've learned how brutally honest I am. I just wouldn't say anything if I didn't like them. My mom said, if you don't have anything nice to say, you don't say anything at all.
And life is like a box of chocolates.
Does he actually? No, he doesn't say the mama said thing.
He does.
If you don't have anything nice to say?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. I know he says the life but obviously I know that's from Forrest Gump. All right. On that note, I'm ready to go watch the Phillies game because it started a while ago.
Game 2, here we go.
Yeah, you guys like our attire today. We're ready. If you're watching on the YouTube, you just saw that we're wearing Phillies attire right now. But that's it. That's all we got. Thank you for coming to another Universal episode. We'll be back to Disney again next week if this is not your cup of tea. But if it is, awesome. Glad you like it. Glad you made it this far. If you guys want to find us on social media, we are at Spill the Tea Podcast. You can leave us reviews on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We thoroughly enjoy. The more stars, the merrier, as we always say. And remember, if you don't have anything nice to say,
Don't say anything.
Don't say anything at all. Just kidding. Sort of.
Not really.
But that's all we have for you guys. So until next week, we will
See you at the castle.